All right, folks, a different subject altogether. A new Abraham Accords Middle East is emerging from Trump's obliteration of Iran. That's the subject of the riff. Now, the lefties are trying to downplay the phenomenal work of our nation's military as they obliterated, to use President Trump's own words, as they obliterated the Iranian nuclear facilities. The lefties are using a leak by some deep state anti-Trump bureaucrat inside the Defense Intelligence Agency. And by the way, even that leaked report was labeled low confidence. It's all hogwash and fake news anyway. The Israel Atomic Energy Commission has already said the U.S. strike on Fordo destroyed the site's critical infrastructure and rendered the enrichment facility inoperable. Remember, Israel was striking parts of the Iranian nuclear program at the same time we were hitting them. President Trump, who knows a thing or two about buildings, is arguing that the biggest damage took place far below ground level, and that was the bullseye. Now, the IAEA Director General Grossi has already pointed out significant damage to all the centrifuge operations, including the Esfahan nuclear site, where buildings were hit and the Iranian conversion process was pummeled. At the Natanz enrichment site, the fuel enrichment plant was hit. Effectively, according to Mr. David Albright, the president of the Institute for Science and International Security, the attacks by Israel and the U.S. have destroyed Iran's centrifuge enrichment program. Now, more are going to be revealed about all this. But you can bet Iran's nuclear program, and for that matter, its whole military defense system, is going to be out of commission for a long, long time to come. And that leads me to a much more interesting and constructive discussion. With Iran out of the way, look for President Trump to follow up on a major expansion of the Abraham Accords, which normalized diplomatic trade and investment ties between Israel and parts of the Arab world. Recall that in 2020, President Trump convinced the UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and Sudan to engage in bilateral relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords. They were the first four. Now's the time where the rest of the Gulf states can also join this Middle East economic modernization and growth process by coming into the Abraham Accords. I've been talking about this potential for a long time, and I want to give a hat tip to an excellent column in today's New York Post by Hussein Abdul Hussein for fleshing out the very same point. Good for him. Saudi Arabia, Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq may be ready to join what could be a free trade economic zone that would rival Europe, Latin America, perhaps even Asia. The UAE, with its economic hubs of Dubai and Abu Dhabi, have led the way towards economic innovation and prosperity. It's called the New Emirates economic model and has moved the UAE into a very competitive position on the world economic stage. The battle of Iran is over. The mullahs have been destroyed. There may even be regime change at some point. But with the U.S. alignment fostered by President Trump, a new Middle East is emerging, with the Abraham Accords as the central alliance. What a wonderful thing. And that is the riff.